grandfather used to live over here, and we're going to go over the bridges coming back across into Stuart right now. Stuart, Florida. So we're at Sewell's Point right now. So I'm sitting here reflecting on life and realizing all the different chapters I've had. And one of the times, for a few years, I had a nice race boat. And I used to have it on this waterway right here. And we'll drive down the street where I used to live, and the park where I used to put the boat in here. And long story short, life's interesting because it puts you in an uncomfortable spot, and you have to choose how are you going to come out on top in that moment of uncomfort. And every time that I've rebounded from really bad situations, it landed me in a much better situation than I was before, in a weird way. And sometimes it was financially better, sometimes it was a situation where I needed to learn something about character and self-improvement, things like that, appreciation, but wisdom, things like that. But it's been a good run, and it's really weird. We all wish that life was easier, but at the same token, I don't. I'm glad that life's been as tricky as it's been in a weird way, because I feel like if you can figure out how to solve the problems and then share that story, that's what humanity really wants to hear. Like this tire thing. I know it's a silly thing, but there's a lot of people. Like when I was at Kevin Whitaker Chevrolet, there was a guy there with me. He's from California, and he came to Kentucky for the bash, and then he was coming down to Carolina to come see his kid. And retired guy, worked for IBM, good dude, sharp guy. He had a C8 Z06 as well, and same exact situation. He had a flat tire, and anyway. But the point is, when people travel across the country in Corvettes, they don't realize how these tires wear. So, and they don't realize how unsafe, these tires can be when you're in the rain and they're underinflated. So I'm showing you all the pros and cons about overinflating tires. Realistically, the tires wouldn't have done that had I just cruised around for a day in the dry with them a little bit overinflated. Instead, what it was whoever was driving the car was tearing around like a bat out of hell. So that one ring area on the tire overheated and liquefied, and the tires are pretty well worn down anyway. But so I'll take you where I used to live, and where I used to have. I used to be able to. I had a business where I could run it from my boat, basically from my phone. It was amazing. I had it made. I had about 20 people working for me, kind of, and not all at once, but probably about 10 or 15 at a time. But then the niche that I had figured out dried up, and I told everybody as it was starting to dry up, I said, you're gonna have to go find something else to do, because I don't want us to all get in a fight about money and everything. And you guys, so it was a good run. Made people all thank me for it. They say, you made my life better, and you gave us a fair heads up that it was drying up, and I'm appreciative that you did that. So we went and got other jobs. So since then, I've just been working on my big website that I talk about all the time. I've actually went back to work recently, working for other people again, and life kind of forced me into this one corner to work for this one specific. It's just weird. I don't want to. I can't begin to tell the whole story, but I had to pass the bicyclists. But long story short, the way that patents work, it's the claim, the verbal claim that you write down, that's actually what gets awarded, and then your patent is basically an example of that claim. But anyway, part of the reason why I went back to this work, I think the universe needed me to realize some extra claims that I had never realized before, and they're actually bigger claims than what I ever thought possible, because I realized that it solves other problems. See, if you patent something and you forget to put the proper claims in there, then it becomes public domain once your patents are out for review. It becomes public domain where people can see, and so therefore you can't file claims on it anymore. It's you're done. And so anyway, I do feel like there's definitely a higher intelligence, like a higher power, whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, something. Because the way that this life always uproots me whenever I start to get comfortable. This life does not want me to be a normal person. I know that much. It wants me to do some really big stuff. And I've always known along the way that one day I would tell my stories. And hopefully those stories help other people. Is this it here? No. There it is. It's a really pretty street we're about to go down. You're going to enjoy this. Some friends who lived over here who used to work for my family and up north, and they came down here, and then we worked out a deal where I would keep my boat, and I lived with them too, but I would keep my boat at their place. And I got such a killer deal on this boat. I bought it when there was like a blizzard going on up in New Jersey from a guy who couldn't buy another boat until he got rid of his first one because it was a rule of his wife. So this is a real nice area right here. And then this is the banyan tree road here. It's pretty cool. And so this boat that I had, it was a little bit wider than a lane of traffic. It was pretty darn wide. It was a catamaran, 32-foot Spectra, and I'll show you how made I used to have it here. These are all, mansions on the water. So And then so every day, because I was making really good money, I would literally pull my boat, so I bought this like I bought a boat that was worth over 100 grand used. It was over 200 grand new. I bought it for $45,000, I want to say. Trailer, everything. Brought it down from New Jersey. Almost wrecked it the first day I had it because I took it out the inlet. There's these big, huge swells coming in. Coast Guard sheriff escorted me out there. But anyway, right here's where I put my boat in the water. This is Sand Sprint Park. So I'd come over here, put my boat in the water. I had it down to a science where I could do it all by myself. I'd pull the boat up on the beach after I'd unload it. It had triple engines, 2.5 true Mercury race engines that are discontinued. The old 2.5 EFI 2-strokes. And man, that thing would fly. The boat would go like 120, 130 miles per hour. This canal right here, I probably have the speed record on that canal because you're not supposed to go fast, but of course that's kind of what I do. So you're only supposed to go like 25 through there, and I have videos going like $1.25. But anyway, this little beach right over here, they didn't used to have these barges right here like this, but I used to pull my boat up to this beach right here, and then I'd be able to go to the bank or do whatever I need to do to go get cashier's checks, to do whatever. And there was one day when I went to the bank and the tide swings so bad that the boat got trapped on the beach. It was in the afternoon, and I was like, okay, no big deal. So I was like, I'll come back and get it later on, because I was just stuck on the beach. So later that evening, around 9 o'clock, I come out. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, it's just getting dark, and but it was still light out, and it was like Miami Vice. They had 20 sheriffs, DEA, what do you call it, Coast Guard, dogs, everything. They thought it was a drug boat ran ashore, and I'm like, guys, you know who I am. And they already had the dog on my boat, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, do we have permission to board your boat? And I'm like, it looks like you already took it upon yourselves to do so. And I was like, no, you don't have permission. So then they get off the boat, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, why is your boat here? I was like, because it got beached, because the tide went out. I had to run to the bank. When I came back, I couldn't get it back off the beach. So anyway, they all just dispersed. It wasn't even they all felt stupid. Because some of the guys knew who I was. Like, some of the sheriffs were cool. They would let me go about 70 miles per hour, because the way that the maritime laws work is it's based off of safe operating speed, okay? And so the boat didn't even get on plane until 60, 70 miles per hour, okay? So they finally concluded that I could run 70, even though everybody else out here is only supposed to run about 25 or 35. So, but anyway, I'd come out here and I'd network at the sandbar parties with all the people that live in all these big ass mansions along the water over here who pull their boats up to the sandbar, and life was very good. But then I had to learn some more things. We'll just put it that way. But anyway, right out there is the inlet. That's where you go out. And so you have to drive in this exact channel. There's an exact channel right here that you have to go through, because if you don't go through this exact channel right through here, you'll, like over there where that boat is, you'll run aground. You can't go, there's a sandbar right out there, you can probably see it. So you got to go around the sandbar, and then over there's the bridges that we went across. So that island right there, that's an island. And then there's a bridge on this side of the island, there's a bridge on this side of the island. So we went across the 2 bridges, went to the island, and went across the other bridge. So now we're here. But we'll get back to this one day. But I just had to take the hard road for a little bit to learn some things. So anyway. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. In a weird way, I'm glad that whole flat tire thing happened, because I'm glad that I found out about the tape thing, because that'll save me in the future for sure. I go through tires a lot, so. And something else that came, see, things happen for a reason. Something else was good about it. I was due for an oil change when I was in Kentucky, and had I continued all the way to Hilton Head, I probably, I'm gonna see the tape on the tire, see it protects it. I probably would have, GM probably could have tried to void the warranty on this car. GM's being pretty nasty to me right now, you can imagine. They're messing with my GM rewards points and stuff. Even though my car is registered in my personal name and paid for in my personal bank account, they're trying to say that I lied and then I have a business. It's like, who cares if people own businesses? If they're personally driving their cars around. I got a freaking YouTube channel. You see I drive the car around. It's like, well, what do you... My YouTube channel's not for profit. So it's like, this is just me driving around for pleasure. This is me, Brandon, hi. So I'm gonna have to probably take GM to court about that. I mean, it's crazy. Because I was saving all my points for a rainy day. And then I go to try to use them and they screw me over as soon as I try to use them. It's crazy. So, anyway, that's all we got. They're giving me plenty of ammunition for the documentary, that's for sure. If they want to look like a shitbag company, it's coming. You guys are batting 1,000, Mark. See ya.